If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
How's it going, everybody? So the recaps are officially back after taking a week off for Labor Day weekend since I was out of town. I do have a vlog up for my experience at the Pity Series race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So if you want to check that vlog out, go for it. But yeah, I missed quite a bit at Darlington, especially Eric Jones getting a win last week to open the chase with an upset. But now, we are now in the race 2 of the 2022 Cup Series chase for the Bill France Cup. Before we talk about everything else that happened, we also had a bunch of races that had major implications, from the Truck Series ending their first round of chase, and then the IndyCar season wrapping up. So, of course, you know how to drill with this. All the races of least importance, go first. The races with most importance, go last. So this order is going to be jumbled up quite a bit. But anyway, let's get started with the races of least importance first. So, starting this one off, we have the Xfinity race at Kansas. So, Xfinity race, the start actually got moved up almost 15-20 minutes early because of potential rain in the area. So, and it was a pretty big sell. And keep in mind, there was an ARCA race that was going to happen later on in the day, so all that was going to weigh on it. So in the end, this Xfinity race, the first part of this race, it looked like it was going to be Ty Gibbs dominating this race, but Noah Gragson close in tow. But near the end of stage 2, with rain in the area, a couple teams gambled on tire strategy, like guys like Austin Hill and, you know, Brett Moffitt and a few others, all gambling on strategy, especially Ryan Sieg, who needs points, since he's right on that cut line for that 12th and final spot. But in the end, while everyone else took fresh tires, it didn't matter too much, because on the restart, Noah Gragson would go right through everybody and would get the lead right off the restart, all the way from 4th to 1st and within one lap. And then everyone else was in a mad battle for second, mainly Allgaier, Allmendinger, Sammy Smith, even Ty Gibbs, but Ty Gibbs kept getting held up because everybody else trying to battle for second too with the rain in the area. And then with around 8 to go in stage 2, NASCAR would then throw the caution for the threat of potential rain in the area and a little light rain. Holy shit, NASCAR actually learned their lesson from their fuck up at Daytona? Well, I'll be damned, maybe there is some hope after all. Hey, I'll give NASCAR kudos for that. That was a good call by NASCAR. Better to be safe than sorry and not have the entire field wreck out again, like it happened at Daytona. So that was a safe call by NASCAR to do that. Rode around for a few laps until they felt like it was good, because it was kind of raining in turn 2, but it wasn't raining anywhere else in the track. So then we get restart with 2 to go between Allgaier, Gragson, and Ty Gibbs battling for the lead on the final 2 laps. But Noah Gragson would get a good launch on the restart to pull away, while Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier would battle for second. Gragson would go on to win stage 2, and then Allgaier and Gibbs were being and baiting to the line, with Allgaier edging them out for second. And as soon as the stage ended, the rain came right down. Just in the nick of time. So yeah, NASCAR and NBC choosing to move the start time up around 15-20 minutes early. That ended up being the right call. Because if that didn't happen, they wouldn't have made it to the end of stage 2. But because they moved the start time up, they were able to do it. They were able to get to the mark. So of course, then the field would come down pit lane, because then the big snow comes right in, the rain picks right up. Now, initially, it sounded like at one point, they declared Noah the winner until they're like, hold up, we actually didn't make anything official. and pulled a genjutsu on us. So then we had to wait a little longer. But then after like 15 to 20 more minutes of waiting, NASCAR would then and finally announced Noah Gragson the winner and declare him the winner in the race over. And this time the announcement was for real. After initially catching us at genjutsu, they still said Noah was the winner. It's too bad that Noah Gragson wasn't allowed to do a burnout in the rain. That would have been cool to see. And NASCAR was like, no way, Jose, you're not allowed to do a burnout in the rain. But NASCAR did allow Gragson and his pit crew to go to the catch fence and climb it in the rain. And they were able to climb it successfully without nobody getting hurt. So, hey, I guess all of them have really good grip. They got that real good grip, good grip for that catch fence. But yeah, Noah Gragson now gets his 5th win of the season. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Noah Gragson now at 5 wins this year. So everyone's saying that Todd Gibbs is now just going to run away with it. Not so fast. Gragson may want to have a word there. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that. I think it's between Gragson and Gibbs for the championship. Without a doubt. The two winningest drivers this year. Now at 5 wins apiece. So yeah, Gragson gets the win, his 5th of the win. And now in Kansas, by the way, the Xfinity for Kansas. Kansas was the only track Gragson didn't have a top 10 finish at. Well, that's one way to get your first top 10 finish at Kansas. Just win the race. That's just the easy way to change that. But yeah, Gragson gets the win. And also, both Sam Mayer and terrible Riley Herbst both had decent finishes. And with Gragson winning, it means that now we have 3 spots open in the chase. Maybe 2, depending on what happens with the Jeremy Clements situation. But before we talk about the Clements situation, one thing we know for sure is that Sam Mayer and terrible Herbst have done enough to get enough points to be ahead of the cut line. So now Sam Mayer and Riley Herbst, they are both now officially locked into the Xfinity chase. So now entering the regular season finale for Xfinity at Bristol next week, we have 3 spots now up for grabs. Now, the last 3 spots up for grabs, maybe 2 spots because we don't know what's going to happen with Jeremy Clements' appeal situation Tuesday. I don't think it's going to get overturned. I think it's going to stand. Because, oh yeah, after Daytona and after I published a video, Jeremy Clements had a no-no in the engine as his team made a change to a modification to the manifold. So then Clements was forced to spin NASCAR's wheel of discipline. And the wheel landed on you're fucked. As Clements was given a 75-point penalty and was also docked 10 bonus points toward the chase. His crew chief was also fined $60,000. But the shocking part in all this was that Clements' win was allowed to stand, but it would not count toward chase eligibility, so he was kicked right out of the chase. So yeah, his win ended up being encumbered. All I have to say is NASCAR. Wasn't the whole point of bringing back disqualifications was to prevent encumbered wins from happening? And yet we still had an encumbered win anyway? I mean, NASCAR, if you're not going to fucking disqualify Clements for that, and you're just going to let his win stand, then you may as well get rid of the DQs at this point. Like, if you're going to let Clements' win stand, then you may as well give Denny Hamlin his Pocono win back. Like, fuck, you may as well give Ross Chastain his Truck Series win at Iowa back in 2019. You may as well give Chastain his Truck Series win from Iowa back. Hell, you may as well give Denny Hamlin his Xfinity win at Darlington in 2019 back. And you may as well give Kyle Busch his Xfinity win from Texas in 2020 back. Like, if you're not gonna be properly enforce DQs, then you may as well give those wins back. Like, this just kind of shows NASCAR's inconsistency with the rulebook. Yeah, and manifold modification to the manifold in the engine. Encumbered win. Piece of tape on Denny Hamlin's car at Pocono. Automatic DQ. Another example of NASCAR's inconsistency and bullshit. But hey, they listened to Kevin Harvick's rant last week of Harvick getting pissed last week, and they made some changes to the car to try and prevent the car from catching on fire. So at least there's that to hide from their bad judgment calls. But still, NASCAR really needs to get their shit together with this system. Honestly, Timmy Hill was the real winner at Daytona in my book. Timmy Hill's the real winner. No doubt. NASCAR needs to get better. Like, if you're not going to enforce DQs, they may as well get fucking rid of DQs and just let everybody's wins stand then. At this fucking point. Because that's kind of bullshit. But to be honest, for the appeal, I don't see it being overturned. I think the penalty is going to stand. But I'll go over the points at the end of the video. But anyway, let's move on now. So now, we go on to the ARCA race at Kansas. And well, this race, for much of the race, it was dominated by Corey Heim throughout much of this race. A race that ended up getting postponed till Sunday morning because of the rain from Saturday, which forced the race to be postponed. But on Sunday, Corey Heim just dominated this race from start to finish. I mean, despite the best efforts from Nick Sanchez and Sammy Smith and Daniel Dye and others, and even Roger Carruth at one point until he hit the wall with 6 to go, which forced the race into overtime. But in the end, it didn't even matter because Corey Heim would pull away and would easily cruise to the win. So Corey Heim gets his second ARCA win this season. So yeah, Corey Heim gets another ARCA win this year. Like, honestly, can we just say that can we just please announce Corey Heim will be full-time in Truck Series next year for KBM? If KBM will still be up and running, we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, what else to say? But the one thing we do know for sure is that Nick Sanchez, he does gain more points on Daniel Dye. At this point, with 3 races left in the ARCA season, it's a 2-man championship between Nick Sanchez and Daniel Dye. So, of course, it's ARCA for next week. They'll be at Bristol in a joint race with ARCA East. And, of course, next week for ARCA East is the ARCA East season finale. But to be perfectly honest, Sammy Smith already has that championship locked up already in ARCA East. Like, I believe all Sammy Smith has to do for ARCA East is just start the car and take the green flag and he'll be champion. That's literally it. But yeah, that's next week for ARCA. So yeah, next week, Sammy Smith will officially go back-to-back in ARCA East Championships next week. After Bristol, he'll officially get the trophy next week. But yeah, that's ARCA for you this week. So now on to the Cup race at Kansas. And this race, a lot of chasers had issues in this race. Like early in the race, Harvick, who looked like he had a fast car early on in this race, Harvick would end up getting Chastained early on in the race, when Ross Chastain would get loose and force Bubba Wallace right into him. And Harvick could not get the car fixed up in the now new updated damaged vehicle clock, which is now 10 minutes instead of 6. Honestly, the 10-minute clock is actually the good call. It should be 10 minutes the whole season. Like, I'll just say this, if you can't fix your car within 10 minutes, then you don't deserve to be out there to begin with. And anyone that says that, oh, they should be allowed to if they can get it safe, if you can't get it fixed in 10 minutes, was that car really safe to begin with? Probably not. But yeah, Harvick was out early, and that will damage Harvick in the Chastains. We'll get to that at the end of the video. But yeah, and also Tyler Reddick, who looked like he had the fastest car early on in the race, was even dominating the early portion of this race. He would end up getting a flat tire and would smack the wall while leading the race, which is like, holy shit. And then Reddick, he would end up being out of the race early too. Like, a number of drivers had issues. Even Kyle Busch spun out at one point. So yeah, that's just Kyle Busch's typical luck at Kansas in the fall. But yeah, and yes, I am very aware of the Kyle Busch rumors right now. You think I'm addressing those rumors in this video? No, no, no. Different video. We're addressing that Kyle Busch shit in a different video after the announcement comes out on Tuesday. But yeah, overall, throughout much of this race was mainly looking like it was dominated by Alex Bowman. Bowman even won a stage, which is pretty interesting. But then the final stage of this race, it would end up being all about Bubba Wallace. As Bubba Wallace's car would come to life that final stage of the race, and Bubba Wallace would get the lead with around 50-8 to go, passing Alex Bowman on pure speed. And then Bubba Wallace, he would have to contend with Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin for the lead, as both cars were faster than Bubba by the end of the race, but Bubba was able to negotiate lap traffic better than Hamlin could, and despite Hamlin's best efforts, it would not be enough to catch Bubba Wallace, as Bubba Wallace would go on and cruise to the victory at Kansas. So Bubba Wallace gets his second career win, and for Bubba, this one is for real now. And this time, the Boomers got no more fucking excuses to hide behind this time, because this time, Bubba won a full distance race. So yeah, no rain shorn Mickey Mouse stuff this time. Bubba wins fair and square. Bubba earned this one fair and square. The Boomers got no more fucking excuses this time, but knowing how fucking retarded the Boomers are, they'll find a way to make excuses. Honestly, we're just all waiting for the event to inevitably pass away at this point, so that this fan base can truly get better and more intelligent. But yeah, Bubba gets the win. And even though this win doesn't mean much for Bubba in the Drivers' Championship since he didn't make the chase this year, to be honest though, Bubba's win, this would have put him in the round of 12 had he made the chase and made it that far. What could have been if only Bubba was very consistent early on in the season. But yeah, I had a feeling Bubba was going to get a win at some point, especially the speed he's had the last month or two. And Bubba gets the win in Kurt Busch's ride in the 45. Now, even though Bubba didn't make the chase this year, the 45 team still goes on to the round of 12 in the Owners' Championship. So at least the 45 team got some pride there. So yeah, since Bubba's in that car to help him out in the Owners' Championship, since the 45 team made the Owners' title and not the 12 team, Ryan Blaney made the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, Bubba gets the win, his second career win. And also, Bubba Wallace wins at a non-plate track. He wins at a track that isn't Daytona or Talladega. So yeah, and Bubba Wallace also becomes the winningest African-American driver in NASCAR history now with 2 wins. So yeah, congrats to Bubba Wallace on the win and the milestone. Well-deserved win for Bubba Wallace. Maybe next year Bubba Wallace can finally be more consistent and make the chase. Maybe. It would be cool if he did. But yeah, anyway though, Bubba gets the win. And also with Christopher Bell finishing third and getting some points, Christopher Bell also locks his place into the round of 12. So Bell is officially moving on. So in the Drivers' Championship, there will be 11 spots still up for grabs entering Bristol next week. And also with Bubba Wallace's win, I believe this is the first time since 2002, I want to say, that we had one car win with 2 different drivers, and that was with Sterling Marlin and Jamie McMurray in the 40 car for Ganassi. Because Kurt Busch won at Kansas earlier this year in that 45 car, and now Bubba Wallace wins in that same car at Kansas later on in the season. And with Bubba winning, we now have 18 different winners in the Cup Series this season. Holy shit. At least half the charter teams have won a race this year. Holy crap. That's crazy. 18 drivers this season. Nearly half of a fucking full field. Jeez Louise. And also, if anyone's wondering, this is now the 4th time in the modern era that we've had at least 18 different winners in a single season. The other 2 times, we'll get to the 3rd time in a few seconds, but the other 2 times were 2002 and 2011. Both were seasons won by Tony Stewart. By the way, championships won by Tony Stewart, to be exact. And of course, we all know 2001. 2001 was 19 different winners, which is the current record in the modern era that still stands to this day. Can we get to 19 different winners? We'll have to see. And could we get to maybe over 20 and set a new modern era record? we'll have to see there. But yeah, we'll go over the Cup Series chase standings at the end of the video. But yeah, that's the Cup Series race for y'all at Kansas. So yeah, Bubba Wallace gets his second career win. And that's now the second race this year, in the chase this year, where a non-chase driver has won. If anyone's wondering, the record for most wins by non-chase drivers in a single chase was 2006, when 5 of the 10 chase races were won by non-chase drivers. And in 2006, those 5 wins were split between Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and Brian Vickers, with Stewart winning 3 of those 5, and then Biffle and Vickers getting 1 apiece. But yeah, just thought I'd put that out there. But yeah, that's the Cup race at Kansas. Congratulations to Bubba Wallace on another win. And also, bad news is Facebook wasn't down for this, so we still had to deal with all the boomers throwing their fucking temper tantrums. Just off the sheer appearance of Bubba alone. But yeah, congrats to Bubba Wallace on his second career win. But yeah, for everybody else that has raced this weekend, thank you all for playing. But now, we get to the races that truly matter this weekend. So we have the Truck Series cutoff, round 1 cutoff race at Kansas we're going to talk about first of the races that mean something this week. So yeah, after nearly 3 months, the first round of the Truck Series chase will finally conclude with Kansas. So we have 6 spots still up for grabs. 2 drivers will be sent to elimination station, as the only drivers safe entering this race were Grant Enfinger and Chandler Smith. But 6 spots still up for grabs, so let's talk about this race. So overall, this race was pretty anticlimactic. But overall in this race, guys like Stain Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Majeski, and Stuart Friesen, they all got enough stage points to where they would all mathematically clinch their way in. So we have 4 spots already wrapped up, so that means there's now 2 spots left after the stages. Ben Rhodes would get some stage points, and he would finish good enough in the field. So Ben Rhodes, he would do enough to lock himself into the next round. So Ben Rhodes moves on. Well, the reigning champ will continue on to the round of 8. So that means it becomes a battle for the final spot between 3 drivers. For Matt Crafton, though, Matt Crafton did nowhere near enough to be good enough to make it to the next round of chase, as Crafton really struggled, and that team was just completely awful all night. So with Matt Crafton struggling, it means that Matt Crafton has officially been eliminated. Let's be real, Matt Crafton had no fucking business being in the chase to begin with. This honestly just shows that expanding the Truck Series chase grid from 8 drivers to 10 drivers was a massive mistake to begin with. Because all that does is just reward mediocrity. Really, what was NASCAR's fucking solution to Crafton's winless championship in 2019? By expanding the field from 8 to 10 drivers. What was the solution to that? Have the same fucking thing play out again? But with someone that was even more irrelevant than Crafton winning the title? Then again, the entire chase is a fucking joke to begin with, but what else can you say there? But yeah, Crafton honestly just didn't belong in the chase, to be perfectly honest. He just did not deserve to be there. And he really didn't do much to really impress me. But yeah, I think everyone had Crafton out in the first round, so that was an easy elimination. So then, it became a battle for that 8th and final spot into the round of 8 between Christian Eckes and Carson Hocevar. Of course, Eckes had a solid run throughout the race, but Hocevar would gamble on strategy, as he was able to get the lead and try and make it on fuel mileage. Could Carson Hocevar make it? But in the closing laps, it looked like Hocevar was going to do it. He was finally going to get that first career win that has eluded him. He was finally going to do it. All he had to do was, no, Darian, fuck off! No! Stop, shut the fuck up this instant! Don't you fucking dare rob us of this instant, you motherfucker! No! No! Bad Darian! Go to fucking hell! So then, after this tweet came out, Carson Hocevar would then have John Hunter Nemechek catch up to him. And on the last lap, Nemechek would then pass Carson Hocevar for the lead. And Hocevar would run out of gas. But Hocevar would do enough to cruise to the line to finish in second. while Nemechek goes on and gets the win. And Darian is and Black Flags Matter is the reason why we can't have fucking nice things. Thanks a lot, Darian. You made fucking baby Jesus cry, you sack of shit. Why can't you just shut the fuck up for once? Like, Darian, can you please go one fucking race without mentioning Hocevar late in the race? Like, seriously, shut the fuck up. What is wrong with you? Did you learn absolutely nothing from the previous 20 times you jinxed Hocevar? So yeah, with Hocevar winning and Eckes finishing inside the top 10, it became a question of would Hocevar's second place finish be enough to get him into the round of 8? In the end, it would not, as Eckes would gain enough stage points to outpoint Hocevar and edge him out for that 8th and final spot by just only 3 points. So Christian Eckes gets that 8th and final spot into the round of 8, and Carson Hocevar has now officially been eliminated. Thanks a lot, Darian, you asshole. Not only did Hocevar fall victim to the BFM jinx, but the BFM jinx got him eliminated in the opening round of the chase. And Hocevar was having a very underrated season. He was like around a top 5 driver all year on consistency. But in the end, we can't have nice things because of Darian being a massive douchebag. Like honestly, I'll be honest, one of these times Darian jinxes somebody, he's going to end up jinxing the wrong person and he's going to get himself hurt. Because he's gonna get his ass whooped for it someday. He's gonna end up getting his ass whooped from it when he does it to the wrong person, and he's gonna get himself hurt. That's what's gonna happen. That's how this jinx ends, is if Darian gets hurt. That's all. But anyway, though, let's take a live look to see how everybody else is handling this jinx right now from Darian.
Yeah, come here.
Somebody call the police!
Weeks ago where he's leaving.
Bad Darian. Very bad. Very unprofessional. Like, honestly, we just need to take Darian's fucking phone and just throw it somewhere deep in the Mississippi River to end this charade once and for all. And let me be honest here. Even if you duct tape Darian's mouth shut, he'll still find a way to talk out of his ass and jinx people out of his ass. There's no stopping Darian here. His trolling powers have gone out of control. He's even extended his powers into the NFL since he jinxed the LA Rams in Week 1 by just mentioning Rams house. Darian, you better stay away from the Detroit Lions or so help me God. Like, somebody better tell Darian that if he jinxes the Lions, I'm not the only angry person coming after him. Just gonna put that out there. But now with the Truck Series chase field now set, with the 8 drivers moving on in the Truck Series chase being Dran Enfinger, Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Majeski, Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, and Christian Eckes. It means that now we move on to the IndyCar season finale at Laguna Seca. So, of course, for Laguna Seca, we have 5 drivers eligible for entering this race with a shot at the championship. So, Will Powery enters this race with a 20-point lead over Joseph Newgarden and Scott Dixon. So, for those two, it's very simple. They need a win or a solid run, and they need Will Power to struggle and finish a bit further back in the field. For Scott McLaughlin and Marcus Ericsson 39 points out, McLaughlin 41 points out. Laguna Seca is a must-win race for both of them. They both need to win, and they need Will Power to struggle massively in this race. And just keep this in mind. This is, I believe, the 4th time in Power's career that he has entered a season finale with the points lead. In the previous 3 times that Will Power has entered the finale with the points lead, he has lost the championship on 2 of those occasions. The only time was the last time he entered the finale with the points lead. And that was all the way in 2014 when he won the championship. So maybe good hope for Will Power fans? We'll have to see. Just Will Power has to finish well and just keep everybody within his sights, and Will Power will be the 2022 champion and win his second title. So now on to the IndyCar race at Laguna Seca. So this race, for much of this race, it was dominated by Alex Palou. Like, throughout this race, Scott McLaughlin and Marcus Ericsson, they didn't have race-winning speed throughout this race. They both ran around bottom of the top 10, throughout the mid of the top 10 for much of the race. And those two didn't come close to winning this race. So McLaughlin and Ericsson have both officially been eliminated at that point. Scott Dixon, he struggled throughout much of this race. Like, that 9 team, they missed the setup completely on that car for Laguna Seca. So that eliminates Scott Dixon from the IndyCar Championship. So in the end, it was a 2-man battle for the championship between Joseph Newgarden and Will Power. So regardless of who wins, Penske is gaining another championship in IndyCar. But throughout this race, like, nobody had an answer for Alex Palou. Like, Palou pulled away. Like, near the end of the race, Alex Palou had nearly a 30-second lead. Like, it almost looked like a fucking IndyCar, an F1 race being dominated by Verstappen at that point. That was just fucking insane how much. Like, that car was on fucking rails the entire race. But Alex Palou, he would go on and easily cruise to get his first win of the season, winning at Laguna Seca, and his only win this season. So yeah, after a tough season for Alex Palou, not being able to be eligible for the championship this year, Alex Palou would go on and get his one and only win this season at Laguna Seca. He actually ends up finishing 4th in points, as he was able to leapfrog both McLaughlin and Ericsson in the championship. So yeah, and the one question we have entering this after this race is this the last time we see Alex Palou running in Chip Ganassi colors? Because at the end of the month, we'll find out in the court of law what Palou's situation will be for 2023. Will he be allowed to run for McLaren in a 3rd McLaren car? Will he be forced to stay at Ganassi for another year? And if so, will he actually run at Ganassi, or will Ganassi give him the Alex Lloyd treatment? Time will tell on that situation. So his status, that's a time will tell type deal. But there have been rumors that David Malukas would get the 10 car if Palou ends up going to McLaren. And Rosenquist would go over to take his ride, and so on and so forth. Like, it's just a mess. Like, this whole thing is just a massive clusterfuck of a situation in terms of IndyCar silly season. But in the end, the question was who would end up with the championship. As Joseph Newgarden would end up finishing 2nd. So Newgarden was able to get as much points as he could. So now he needed Will Power to struggle and finish a bit deep in the field. The question is, would his 2nd place finish be enough to win the championship? It will not. As the Will Power, he would end up finishing 3rd right behind Newgarden. So Will Power does his job to stay within what range of Newgarden and ends up on the podium in 3rd. And that 3rd place finish is more than enough for Will Power to claim his 2nd IndyCar championship by 16 points over Joseph Newgarden. So for the first time in 8 years, Will Power is an IndyCar champion. And Will Power finally has won his 2nd title, ending the 8-year drought. And the weird part about its championships is that every time that Will Power has won a championship, the 10-car Ganassi has won the season finale. 2014, Tony Kanaan won the finale at Fontana. And now Alex Palou wins the finale at Laguna Seca. So yeah, congratulations to Will Power, as this one, like 2014, it was more about pure speed for Will Power in 2014. But this one, it was more consistency, because I think we only have, 1 or 2 wins this year? But he was very consistent throughout much of the season. Because the 3 things you need to win a championship are, in IndyCar and the season-long points are, consistency, luck, and skill. And Will Power had all 3. But yeah, 5 drivers entered, 1 left champion under season-long points. And it was a very exciting championship battle in IndyCar under season-long points. But yeah, damn. It's also like we don't need a gimmick chase grid in NASCAR. And that whoever made season-long points in the 50s and 60s knew what the fuck they were doing the whole time. But yeah, season-long points, oh, NASCAR would know nothing about that. Nothing at all unless it's the Roots series like Pinty's, ARCA, Modified, Zero, Mexico, etc. NASCAR would know nothing about that though. Because we can't have natural drama. We gotta have it manufactured. But yeah, congratulations to Will Power in that championship. So yeah, the IndyCar season is now concluded. So for the second time in Will Power's career, he'll get to take out the Metro card and hop right aboard the W train. Congratulations to him. Well-deserved championship for Will Power. And also with some of the free agency questions, the next question we have is this the last time we see Colton Herta in an IndyCar? Since there's been rumors that Colton Herta could be jumping over to F1 to AlphaTauri to maybe replace Pierre Gasly, as Gasly could be going to Alpine Renault next year to take Alonso's seat. I mean, it all depends on if Colton Herta can get enough points for the F1 Super License. Like, that one is another time will tell situation. Like, there's a lot of questions still at free agency. Will Colton Herta be able to go to F1 next year? I mean, Colton Herta is the best chance we have of having an American driver in Formula 1 because of how fucking expensive it is to get over to race in Europe. And the next question is, what happens with Alex Palou in the tug-of-war between Ganassi and McLaren? Will he be going to McLaren next year, or will Palou be forced to stay at Ganassi for one more year of hell? That's a time-will-tell type situation here. And also the next question we have is, will Jimmy Johnson run full-time in IndyCar next year? To be perfectly honest, I feel like Jimmy Johnson should only run the oval races because he runs better at ovals than road courses. Because ovals, he had speed at the ovals. But on the road courses, he fucking sucks ass. And I'm saying that as a lifelong Jimmy fan. But yeah, what happens in all those questions? We'll have to tune in to IndyCar silly season to find out. But now, with all that wrapped up, let's now go ahead and take a look at Cup and Xfinity points entering Bristol. Now, here's the Xfinity Chase grid entering the cutoff race at Bristol next week. So, 9 spots locked in, maybe 10 depending on what happens with Jeremy Clements' appeal case Tuesday. To be honest, I think it's going to stand, and I don't see it being overturned, so I think Clements will not be in the chase. So, he's in a must-win entering Bristol. But 3 spots still up for grabs. I think Daniel Hemrick and Landon Castle are pretty safe on points. But if, like, Sheldon Creed ends up winning Bristol, then that line kind of gets interesting, since the gap between Castle and Sieg is only 19 points. But, yeah, it gets interesting if someone below the cut line ends up winning. But, yeah, I think it's mainly between Sieg and Sheldon Creed for that final spot. Can Creed get enough points on Ryan Sieg to get that spot, or could Sheldon Creed win at Bristol? But everybody else on the cut line, their job is very simple at Bristol. It's win and you're in. So yeah, at least for the Clements situation, we're finding out before Bristol what his fate will be instead of after Bristol when the field is already set. So that's kind of a good thing that we're finding out Tuesday instead of next week. But yeah, 3 spots up for grabs. What will happen in that situation? What happens with Clements? Tune in to find out. So now, here is the Cup Series Chase grid entering the cutoff race at Bristol next week. As next week, we eliminate 4 drivers and send 4 to elimination station. So Christopher Bell, he's the only driver safe on points and is locked into the next round. Hamlin, Byron, Hamlin, and Logano, I think they're pretty safe on points. They just need a couple stage points at Bristol, and I think they're pretty safe over there. Now, Blaney and Bowman, I think they're pretty safe as well. They just need a few stage points throughout both stages, and they can lock themselves in. Larson and Elliott, same deal, along with Chastain. They just need some stage points and a solid run, and all 3 will lock in. But the last 3 spots is when it gets really interesting. Because Suarez is only 6 points to the good. Reddick and Cindric are still 2 points to the good. Kyle Busch is 2 points out. Dillon is 3 points out. Briscoe is only 9 points out. Like, Briscoe needs to either win or have a solid run and hope everyone ahead of him struggles. And Kevin Harvick, there's no way he makes up 35 points in one race. Like, for Kevin Harvick to make it into the next round, he has to win Bristol. Bristol is 100% a must-win race for Harvick. I mean, Harvick has shown some speed on the short tracks, and he's had race-winning speed in the night race at Bristol the last 2 years. Can Harvick come in clutch when it matters the most? We'll have to see next week to find out. However, though, tonight, for Carson Hocevar and Matt Crafton, they both have to take out their Metro cards and hop aboard the L train. But the ride home will be short-lived because they've arrived at Elimination Station. And for that, they go somewhere different because for their failures of having a solid round of 10, their failures of getting a win in the round of 10, their failures of being consistent enough to make it to the round of 10, their failures to get enough points to make it to the round of 10, their failures to show up and perform when it mattered the most, and their hopes and dreams of winning the Truck Series Championship this year. Consider their names written down in the death note, as their seasons have been absolutely deleted. But hold up, we ain't finished there yet, because for Scott Dixon, Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, and Marcus Ericsson, they also have to take out their Metro cards and hop aboard the L train as well. But their ride home is short-lived as well, as they have also arrived at Elimination Station. And for that, they also go somewhere different, because for their failures of having a good enough IndyCar season, their failures of getting enough points to win the championship this year, their failures to show up and perform when it mattered the most this year, and their hopes and dreams of winning the 2022 IndyCar Championship this year. Consider their names written down in the death note as well, as their seasons have also been absolutely deleted.
There's only one thing left to do. Gotta write their names in the death note. Delete!
Delete, 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 delete,
You will rest in peace.